Hello, and welcome back to Yoga with me, Brittany. Thank you for practicing with me. We are going to get started on our backs. We're going to try to release anything from our day, anything from our week that is holding us down, keeping us not in our best version of ourselves. So let's get ready to release all that. As we come down to the mat, I invite you to think of a gratitude statement. What's something that you can hold on to be very grateful for when other stressors might be happening, but you still have that one piece of gratitude, even if it's only one thing. But I bet you could think of plenty more. So let's start. Come onto your backs. And when you're on your back, I want you to open your knees, bring your soles of your feet together. They can be far away from your hips or close up, and then choose what you want to do with your arms. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths to get started, and then we will move on. So go ahead and empty the air in your lungs. So push everything out, empty yourself. And as you inhale, do so from your diaphragm. Inhale fully, completely fill up your lungs. And when you get to the top, exhale, release anything that's not serving you. On your next inhale, I want you to think about that gratitude statement. Inhaling like you're so grateful, and exhale, let everything go. One more time, inhale. At the top of your breath, remind yourself of that gratitude statement. Exhale, let it all go. Take your hands, press your thighs together like you're closing a book, and bring your knees in through center. First, give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around your knees. Your body really doesn't know the difference of physical touch between your own hugs and someone else hugging you. So if you need more hugs, you can give that to yourself. Okay, I'm getting some vitamin D right now. So you're going to send your arms out to either side for this next pose. Press your fingertips and the base of your palm down on the sides of either side of your mat. Pull your knees into your chest, and with control in your torso, bring them over to one side, placing them underneath an elbow. See if you can keep those knees stacked, and then notice what your opposite shoulder is doing. Most likely it has come off the mat, and if so, that's totally fine. Be aware of it and think about pressing it a little bit deeper to the mat. Take another breath. As you exhale, bring your knees back through center again with control, and then drop them over to the opposite side. You can look away from your knees to deepen that stretch in your torso. Keep breathing wherever you are. And with control, bring your knees back through center. Take your arms, wrap them around your knees to give yourself another hug. Maybe rock from side to side again. And now, take your hands, place them behind your knees, and rock yourself back and forth along your spine as many times as you like. Really have fun with it. We're going to make our way into child's pose as you're ready. So, you can bring your knees close together or toes together, knees as wide as your mat. Send your hips back either way. Walk your arms forward, bow your head. Take some more deep breaths in your child's pose as you continue to release your day, your week, your last hour. Be here in the present moment on your mat. And now, if your knees are wide, bring them together. Walk your arms out again, but lift your palms. Walk your fingertips over to one side and take a sideways child's pose as you bow between your hands, keeping your hands shoulder width apart. Breathe into the opposite side of your body. Lift your palms and walk them over to the opposite side. Bow again. Take one more full round of breath. Exhale, walk it back through center. And now lift up onto your hands and knees. Come into your tabletop position with your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Take an inhale in your flat back. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, drop your head. Add any other movements that you might need. When you're ready to inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and hips. Same thing here. If there's other movements that your neck or shoulders or hips need, please take them. Warm up your body. Breathe as you warm it up. And get creative with it. It really doesn't have to be a standard yoga move or pose or transition. You can make it whatever you want. Just be in your body. That's really the point. Be in your body and be present with your breath. All right, now we're going to curl our toes under, keeping your hands where they are. Press down on those curled under toes. Inhale, lift your knees just an inch or two above the mat. We're going to warm up in our core, stretch out the back lines of our feet. Breathe. On your next inhale, send your hips all the way up and back as you bow between your hands for downward facing dog. And this is our first downward dog, so let's pedal it out. So bend one knee and then the other as you move your hips from side to side. And my downward facing dog is a little bit short because when I walk my hands forward, or rather when I go from downward dog to plank pose, I want my shoulders to end up above my wrists. So I walked my hands forward a little bit for my down dog. You find what's best for you. And if you want to stay in a shorter down dog stance, you can always make it longer when we move through plank. All right, so find that still downward facing dog and tilt your hips a little closer to the ceiling as you bring your chest and armpits a little closer to the mat. Take a deep breath here, and when you exhale, sigh it out. All right, inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Point your toes, stretch your left heel closer to the mat. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Point those toes, stretch your right heel closer to the mat. And exhale, bring it back down. Now rock your body forward into plank pose. Again, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders and you want them outer shoulder width apart. Index fingers are pointing straight ahead. Separate those fingers evenly. Grip the floor with your fingerprints, the base of your palm, and keep pressing the floor away from you as you breathe. Like always. Notice your inner elbows. Can you rotate them forward so that the vein in your inner elbow is in line with your index finger? One more breath. And as you exhale, bend your elbows back, slowly lower all the way down. Okay, now tops of feet to the floor. Take your hands, interlace them behind your back, walk your arms down your back, squeeze your thighs in together, send your chin forward, inhale, lift torso, arms, and legs. So fun fact, I cannot stand flies. I have a thing against flies, so there was a fly on me, and I just have to breathe and be in the present moment. Nature. Exhale, release, come back down. All right, curl your toes under as you separate your feet hip width apart and place your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up through plank pose and then bend your knees. Again, send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Now, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bend your knee, step through between your hands, find your lunge. Knee on top of ankle, Back leg can be straight with your heel vertical, or you can always place it down. Totally up to you. All right, once you're stable, inhale, lift your torso, lift your arms, high lunge. Think about pulling your right hip back just a little bit so it's in line with your left hip. Keep your torso upright. Keep reaching your fingertips forward. As you exhale, take your right hand back, left hand forward, and twist in your torso. So you're looking towards your front knee or beyond it. One more breath. Exhale, rain it down, and step back to downward facing dog. Second side, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step through. Find the lunge that you want. Decide if that back knee is up or down. Once you're there, inhale, lift. As you sit a little bit deeper, think about pulling your left hip back, right hip forward. Keep reaching tall through your torso. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, we're going to bring our left arm down and back. Right arm reaches forward, and we're twisting towards that front knee. Hold it and breathe. You can do it. All right, now bring it back down, frame your front foot. Step back into plank pose. Hold plank, firm your thighs. As you breathe, inhale, bend your knees, send your hips up and back. Back to downward facing dog. Again, tilt your hips closer to the ceiling. Send your chest and armpits closer to your mat. Press your heels closer to your mat. Take another deep breath. Exhale, sigh. Let's do that again. Now walk your feet to the middle of your mat. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take your forward fold. You can do this bending your knees, pressing legs straight, grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang. If you can see your toes, look at them and lift them. Can you separate them? Separate them just as much as you can. Place your pinky toe down, then your next toe, then your middle toe, then that first toe, and then your big toe. All right, as you inhale, place your hands on your shins, lift halfway. Exhale, slide back down. Inhale, bend your knees, lift your arms all the way up. Really, really reach up high. Firm your abdomen. And exhale, lower your arms. Another one-legged Tadasana, as we did in the last sequence. Place your weight onto your left foot. Lift your right leg. Try and keep your thigh parallel to the floor. Keep breathing. Find that focal point. Maybe it's your TV. Focus and breathe. All right, bring it back down. Second side, inhale, lift. Pull your belly button closer to your spine. Keep your chest upright. Keep your breath flowing. It's okay to fall out. And exhale, bring it back down. Now we're going to do a quad stretch. Okay, so bend your right knee, grab onto the top of your foot, and then just pull your foot as close as you can to your hip. Feel that good stretch in your quad. As you're here and upright, think about squeezing your shoulders together. Broaden in your chest, open up in your heart chakra. The world needs more open hearts. Release your foot, bring it back down. Second side, bend your opposite knee, grab onto the top of your foot. Pull your heel closer to your hip. Keep focusing on your focal point. Keep your breath steady. and release. All right, let's come into a wide stance. Bring your toes in a straight line, your heels in line with your pinky toes. And once you're here, let's take a wide leg forward fold first. So bend your knees, place your hands at your hips maybe, or just place your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. You can straighten your legs. You can stay here, or you can walk your hands back between your feet. Wherever you are, I do want you to surrender the weight of your head and press down on the outer edges of both feet for stability and a deeper stretch. One more inhale. If your feet are between your hands, go ahead and walk them forward. Bend your knees, place your hands on your thighs, and then lift back up. And now turn your left toes out 90 degrees. You want your left heel in line with your right arch. Make sure your right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat and bend your knee on top of your ankle. Open up through heart chakra, arms out to either side. Turn your head and gaze over your left fingertips. Again, it's really important to press down on the outer edge of your right foot, all four corners of your left foot, and think about opening your left knee out to the left just a little bit more. Keep engaging in your core for one more breath. As you exhale, send your hips back, straighten your front leg, maybe place your hand on your shin, lift your top arm for triangle. If this is very doable, maybe try and go for your ankle, and if you need more, you can place your hand underneath your shoulder. You can also place your hand on top of a block here. Anytime you need to bring the floor closer to you, a block is excellent for that. One more breath here. Exhale, bring your top arm down, frame your front foot, and then bend your front knee a little bit so you can gently bring that back foot over at a diagonal and then re-straighten your front leg. If you can't access the floor, again, blocks would be great here, or you can hang on to your shin and just surrender the weight of your head. Now we're going to bend into our left knee, lift on up, come back to our wide-legged stance. Make sure those toes are in that straight line and left foot is parallel to the short edge of your left mat or the short edge of your mat. And then turn your right toes out 90 degrees, heel in line with arch, a bend in that knee on top of your ankle. Open up through your heart, arms out to either side. Really lift your chest, push your shoulders together on your back. Turn your head to gaze over your right fingertips. Think about pulling that belly button towards your spine and opening that right knee out to the right just a tiny bit more. Warrior two, second side. And now we're going to straighten in that leg, send your hips back. So start to stack your hips a little bit. Place your hand on your shin, stack your top shoulder. Maybe you come down farther. Maybe your hand is underneath your shoulder. It really doesn't matter. You just want this leg to be mostly straight so you can press down on that heel and imagine pulling it back to your other foot to deepen that stretch. This will also make you much stronger. So practicing yoga will help you with stressful situations in life. You're practicing strength. Exhale, top arm down. Bend a little in your front knee, take your back foot, hop it over to the side, send your hips back again to straighten your front leg, frame your front foot, bow your head. This is another opportunity to press down on that front heel and think about pulling it back to that back foot to deepen the stretch in the back line of your leg. And then bend into your front knee. We're going to lower that left knee down to the mat. Send your front foot back. I'm going to turn on this side. We're going to start with our left foot. So bring your left foot out in front of you, a bend in your knee, and then follow with your hips. Sit as low as you can. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Keep reaching those fingertips up as you sit deeper in your hips. If you want to add a little bit of a back bend, you can gaze up at the spot above you on the ceiling or the sky, and maybe with control, lean back a little bit. If that's not working for you, that's totally great. Just keep reaching up for one more breath. Exhale, frame your front foot, send your hips back, step your other foot forward, lift your torso, send your hips forward, knee can be past your ankle here, and then inhale, lift on up. Breath, breathe it in, breathe in that gratitude. I guess even for the flies. One more breath here. Reach up, reach up, reach up. Exhale, frame your front foot, send your hips back, step back. All right, we're going to come up through standing, and we're going to do half moon. So before, when we did that quad stretch, that's actually adding on a bit more. So hold that thought. So half moon, we're going to step our left foot forward, right hand to right hip. Hinge forward, bring your left hand in line with your left foot, and then lean, lift off with that back leg, point your toes. So here, you just want to keep the firmness in your thigh, and you want to work on your balance. If you feel stable enough, you can also add in trying to stack your hips. So open your hips up as you point your back toes, strengthen in that leg. If you fall, you're in good company. And then maybe stack your back, your top shoulder. One more breath. As you exhale, bend in your standing leg. Come on out. All right, second side, I'll go over here. So left hand to left hip, right foot steps forward a little bit, slight bend in the knee, hinge forward, place your hand on the mat in front of your foot in line with your foot. So maybe I like to say 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet, and then lean, lift off with your back leg. Start with pointing your toe. This will engage all the muscles in your legs. Once you feel a little bit stable, and maybe you don't today, that's okay. Just stay here and work on your strength and your balance. If you're able to stack your hips, go ahead, open them up, maybe stack your top shoulder. One more breath. As you exhale, bend your standing leg, come on out. All right, now we'll do dancing yogi, which is where we'll use the quad stretch that we started earlier. So placing your weight, I'm going to come sort of at an angle. Placing your weight on your left foot, bend your right knee, take the inner edge of your foot, grab it behind you. So when we did the quad stretch, we were grabbing the outer edge of our foot. So this time, bring it to the inside. And then with the strength of your leg, your hamstring, your quads, lift your back leg. Keep your arm straight, and then send your opposite arm out in front of you. Now you can stay upright or hinge at your hips. Keep reaching forward and keep lifting with the strength of that back leg. Have fun with it. Laugh if you fall. It's okay. As you exhale, gently release. Second side. All right, so weight in right foot. Bend your left knee. Grab the inner edge of your foot. Find your stability. And then gently lift with the strength of your back leg. Reach your right arm forward. Maybe you just stay here upright, or maybe you hinge. Keep lifting. One more breath. Exhale, come on out. All right, let's bring our feet together. Inhale, lift our arms up overhead. Exhale, bend into our knees, sit back in our hips, firm in our abdomens. Keep lifting as you squat. Breathe. As you exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And then bend your knees, come down to the mat. We're going to lie on our backs again. Bring your feet in front of your hips, and let's just windshield wiper our knees from side to side. Notice how that feels on your low back. Should feel pretty good. And now extend your right leg out. Bend your left knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers in front of your shin. Bring it closer to your chest. As you're pulling your knee close to your chest, gently press down on your right heel. This will deepen the stretch. Now take your right hand, grab your left heel, and bring your left heel as close as you can to in line with your left knee. Now, mine's not perfectly in line, and it doesn't mean anything if you can get it in line or out of line. We're just working on improving the stretch and breathing through it. Exhale and release. And now take that right hand and pull your left knee across your torso for a twist. Send your left arm and your gaze to the left. Come back through center. Send your left leg straight out. Pick up your right knee. Hello, sun. Interlace your fingers in front of your shin. Gently pull closer to your chest as you press that left heel into the mat. And now take your left hand, grab your right heel, keep your foot flexed, and work on pulling that heel closer to your chest so it's more in line with your knee. It's like a reclined pigeon. Exhale and release. Take your left hand, pull your right knee across your torso for that twist. Right arm and gaze to the right. Bring it back through center, and again, bring both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around them. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side if it feels good. Let's do one more waterfall pose. Send your legs straight up. You can flex your feet. You can point your feet. You can do both. You can do whatever you like. Just don't harm anyone. Okay, as you exhale, bend your knees. Place your feet back on the mat. Extend one leg, extend the other. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Press down on your tailbone as you expand your rib cage and lift it off the mat. Take a deep breath. One more. Take your arms up and down by your sides. Feel free to pause the video here if you want to take a long Shavasana. I hope you have a great rest of your day and that you find something to be grateful for. Thank you for practicing with me.